Okay, so I'm going to be demonstrating some DecoArt Americana multi-surface metallic paint today. My inspiration was this butterfly right here. So I've cut out the butterfly and a template. I'm going to try to recreate those gold tones and rose tones in this. I'm going to be using the champagne, the yellow gold, and the rose gold. I'll be right back. So I'm just going to take this brush. I'm going to get some of this rose gold, and I'm going to brush it on the upper parts, about halfway. And it's probably going to curl up a little bit because it's got, you know, it's wet. But that's okay. When it dries, it'll lay back down. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm not going to clean my brush. I'm just going to go straight into this champagne. Do that kind of right here. And then pick up my gold for the very bottom tips. I am going for a vintage feel on the card I'm making today. So I'm going to take, ooh, that turned out pretty, didn't it? So we're going to let that dry. And while that's drying, we're going to take some of these colors. And this came from my vintage stash. And we're going to just go around the edges of it with some of it. I usually just use my fingers, but since I got the brush out, you don't have to be exact because we're going to be layering in some stuff. That's got a really nice sheen to it, though. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not, but it's got a really nice sheen to it. Here's another thing from the vintage stack, and I'm going to hit the edges of it. It looks like this had already had some maybe brown distress ink put around it, but I want these colors to kind of come in with it. And then we're going to put our card together. So we're going to wait for that to dry, and I'll be back. So I have put the rose gold on this lace, and as you can see, the lace is too big for the card, and I knew that. I'm just going to tuck this under like that. And that's going to be a nice, it's going to pull out the yellows in these flowers. So we can even, you can cut that off, you can glue this down. I use this glue from Scrap Fusion. If you've been watching me, a gentleman created this glue for his wife because she did scrapbooking. And a lot of the glues will make your paper buckle. And so he created this glue for her so she could scrapbook. So I'm just going to put extra where this is going to go down. My card slipped a little bit. And then we're going to put some across that. And we are going to stick that down to our cardstock. Oh, it fell out. Well, I guess that it hadn't dried yet. Alright, that's okay. We'll just go ahead. I've got the glue on the cardstock. Put that down. Alright, that's okay. We can cut it. We can always cut it. Not a big deal. We already have our marks where we need to cut. And I hadn't put any glue on the front of this, so that's why it fell out. And I'm just going to put just a little, probably right here. The main thing is to get around the very edges so it won't flop up, because I'm going to be layering some stuff on top of this. This is for a co-worker's birthday. And she's not a real frilly girl, but these are my favorite kinds of cards to make. So I enjoy making them. I make one for everybody at work. They love to get my cards. The next thing, I had gotten this from a friend. So I'm going to put this down to anchor this right here on the edge. There we go. And then I found this. I save all my scraps, I tell you. We're going to have to cut it, but I don't throw much of anything away because it's always nice to use a little scrap of something here and there sometimes. And in this case, it's going to be nice. So I'll cut that off in a minute. So I did have this tag, which I'm going to put here. Put some glue on that. Alrighty. And this is a vintage piece of crocheted, which I have my heating gun, my glue gun over here on the side. I always keep it plugged in. I never know what I'm going to put down, so this is going to require hot glue for sure. So we're going to put that right there. And then we still have this little piece right here. It's going to be putting paper on paper. So I think we're going to slide this in, maybe right here. There we go. And we're going to, I have this is left over. I'm thinking like right here maybe. And you don't have to cover it. One little dot of glue, if it's going to stick paper to paper, is going to hold it. So we're going to put that down maybe right here. And because this glue is thinly made, special made, it cleans off easy. Now we're going to put our butterfly together. This is dried. Turned out really well. So I'm going to glue that down right here. And put it on our card here. Got to get me a happy birthday sentiment. And I'll be back. Okay, we're finished. Here's how it turned out. Can you see all the shimmer and the shine? Let me know what you think.